In this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to apply a horizontal translation to a given graph. So we're given a graph on the left-hand side here, and what we want to do is sketch the graph of y is equal to f of x plus 4. Okay, so first thing you want to do is you want to analyze the transform function, f of x plus 4. Okay, so you want to identify the type of transformation that's occurring here. So we're obviously working with a horizontal translation here because that's what my lesson is all about. But we want to determine, are we moving left or right, and how many units? Okay, so to determine that, you want to compare this function to the general form of a function being horizontally translated. And that general form is y is equal to f of x minus h. Remember, h was what created a horizontal translation. So you're going to compare these two functions together, and you're going to determine what the h value is, okay? Notice the difference between these two functions. It's right there, plus 4. This is a minus h. So you have to rewrite this function so that it looks more like the general form. So we want to create a minus inside of the brackets. So this is x minus, and we don't want to change any values. What we want to do is just simply rewrite the equation. So this is a minus negative 4. Remember, when you minus a negative, you create an addition sign, which is and the result is that function up there. Okay, so looking at this function, we can compare it to the general form and identify our x or h value. So our h value is that value right there. H is equal to negative 4. So what does that mean in terms of our graph here? Well, it means we're going to be moving left because it is negative, and we're moving 4 units to the left. So left 4 units. Okay, so we identified the translation. Now we're actually going to perform the translation on the given graph. So when you perform any type of transformation, what you want to do is pick 3 or 4 good points to help you sketch the transform graph. I'm going to pick this point right here, which is negative 6 comma negative 3. I'm going to pick this point right here too, so negative 3 comma 0. And finally, I'll pick this point right here, 2 negative 5. Okay, so I picked 3 points to help me sketch the transform graph, and now we're going to apply the transformation on these points. So remember, we are being translated left 4 units. Left, okay? So what you are doing to each of your x coordinates is subtracting 4, okay? So negative 6 minus 4, comma negative 3, and then negative 3 minus 4, comma 0. Okay, and next is 2 minus 4 comma negative 5. So please note, when you perform a horizontal translation, the only coordinate that changes is the x coordinate. Okay, so the x coordinates change, the y coordinates stay the same. So therefore, we have 3 new points of negative 6 minus 4, which is negative 10, and comma negative 3. And then we have negative 3 minus 4, which is negative 7, comma 0. And finally, we have 2 minus 4, which is negative 2, comma negative 5. So here are my 3 new transform points, and we simply just plot them. So we have negative 10, negative 3, which is about here, and negative 7, comma 0, which is right there, and finally negative 2, comma negative 5, so right there. So remember, it still needs to look like the original graph, which looks like an upside down absolute value graph. So when you sketch it, still keep that shape. All right. And oh boy, so kind of missed it at the end there, so I'll redraw that. Right there. So it's going to go past that point, excuse me, and that looks a lot better. So right there, upside down absolute value graph, and that is how you sketch the graph of a transformed function.